Hello and welcome to this reading where today we are going to be asking the question, what part of you could use a little love? So this is going to be exploring whatever Spirit wants to bring out to infuse a bit of love into your life at this moment. And there are 3 different groups to choose from. And as always, I will invite you to take a big deep breath, filling your lungs all the way from the bottom to the top, and exhaling, relaxing the shoulders and softening the jaw, and letting your heart and your intuition guide you to whichever message is best for you today. And once you're ready, I'll meet you there. Hello, Group 1. Now, Group 1, are you ignoring something? Now, I think that would make sense, of course, in a reading which is asking which part of you could use some love. So, what I want to know is, what is it that you are ignoring? I feel like on some level you know that you are divine. You know that you're a beloved manifestation of divinity, incarnated in an extraordinary form here on this earth. You know that incredible wonder can be found in the most unlikely places, and even that the most unlikely places are themselves incredibly wonderful. We may think of the metaphor of a desert as a place we consider to be barren and less rich in life, but I am being called to the understanding of the history of a desert, the shifting climate and the vegetation and the tectonic plates and the life forms and stones whose bodies become the stuff that sand is made of, the evolution of a planet in orbit around a star, and the plants and the creatures who adapt to survive in such locations. I wonder if you are feeling like you are in a time that feels like a desert. Maybe you feel less abundant, less nurtured, or perhaps less sure of your path. This is something that I want you to remember. You were also made for this. And the transformation and the magic, the revolution and rebirth of self that only you can create from these circumstances has always been inherently possible in your soul and your journey. Now, this may well be a time of loss for you. There may be things you're leaving behind that you loved, and it may feel uncertain how to move ahead. But this is also a time when you get to call forward what matters to you from the spirit realm. This is also a time of imagining and forming new intentions, deciding what's most important to you. So I'll ask you, if you were given all new building blocks right now, today, what kind of life would you build? Knowing what you valued in the past and dreaming about what's possible, what is the best outcome that you can imagine? What are your guiding principles, and how do you want to co-create your life with them? If you could build a new world or a new way of being in this beautiful world, what would it look like? Perhaps a part of you that could use some love is your courage, because you certainly do have courage. And I know that you can stand up and build from your heart once more. I know there are such beautiful things that you can see so clearly and in your own unique way, and that it would be wonderful if you brought that understanding and that beauty into the world in your own way, because no one else can contribute just what you can. And I want to thank you for being just who you are in this wildly multifaceted world, because no one else has lived just what you have. So I am inviting you to pick up your wand and weave your magic into the world. I'm inviting you to let love guide you, build yourself from what you love, and trust that you are divinely loved and guided, and to work with that divine love and guidance to imagine a future even more beautiful than the past, which feels lost. This is your potential. Group 1, something else that I'm seeing is the heartbreak that comes from what has been lost or from what you've had to let go. And you should know that every moment of love that you have ever felt is precious and cherished by the divine. And you yourself are seen with such love and such tenderness. There has never been a single moment when all that is divine did not adore you and love every part of you, no matter what. You are part of infinite love, and infinite love loves you. Did you forget? It's okay, we all forget, and we are all held by such comprehensive love that the moment we remember, the moment we open our eyes to notice it once more, we will find that it has always been our home. These lives, these bodies, these families and heartbreaks, these fears and disappointments, these times of loneliness, they can feel so hard and so painful. But I want you to hear this. Even though you feel like you're in a desert, the truth is that you are in a limitless ocean of divine love. And baby, it's okay to take time to feel that. Meaning, it's okay if it takes a little time, but your heart was made to understand it from the time even before you were born, because you are miraculous. Every part of you is miraculous. The chambers of your heart were built to hold more mystery, more magic, and more wonder than could ever be described. And this time right now, even if you've lost something that was so beautiful to you, or even if you don't understand which way to go, this is also the time when you can let go clinging to structures that limited what you could understand. And even as we let go, we can thank those structures for supporting us in the ways that they did when we needed them to. They allowed us to travel so far, but now we're opening up to the possibility of even more, and we have to let go of what can't help us to get there. It is frightening to feel the storms that come through life and disrupt our little havens of well-being. It's frightening to lose what felt like peace, or clarity, or understanding, and to step forwards feeling like anything we could have imagined as the right path for us is somehow absent. But within this process, there are also glimmers. Within this process, though so many things fall away, you may find that there are also things which remain. Maybe that's your kindness. Maybe it's your creativity, or the principles by which you choose to live. I think that part of what is important here is that you will notice that there are unshakable parts of you. You will notice that even when external feelings of security are stripped away, there are truths within you that remain. And that is part of why the divine is so excited for you to show what you want to build right now, because it is a pure representation of who you are and what guides you, outside of the influence of others and the collective structures which may have left you a little blind to what was being left behind. We can become complacent within the cycling and recycling of what is familiar, but you, Group 1, are in a moment outside of the possibility of complacency. So what do you see there? Is there something in you growing new wings to fly? Perhaps you don't know what it is yet, but within this moment is the possibility for it to reveal itself. And that may happen slowly, or it may ignite like a flame within you. But the important thing is love, dear Group 1. The relationship between the love that lives within you and the divine love that surrounds you. And all of us can bring new wonders into the world if we only bring them into connection with each other. Because without bringing our love and divine love into connection with each other, we run the risk of clinging once more to what hurts us. But with it, we open ourselves to the astonishing beauty of the infinite dance of the universe, with us as both lover and beloved, both dancer and music. May you dwell in the knowing of your infinite nature and be blessed by it always. And Group 1, that's where I'm going to leave you today. And I do wish you all the very best. Hello, Group 2. So Group 2, it feels as though you've been working hard, but you're scared. Maybe there is an impending change or event that you're frightened isn't going to go in your favor or will reveal you to be lacking in some way. It might feel like even though you've been trying your best, you're still going to lose something that you care about. So, I'm not totally sure how to translate this message, but what I'm getting about that is to give this impending change or challenge some love. And so, what does that mean? I think what it means is that the strongest critic of you in this situation is you. The circumstances will be whatever they are, but the person who is going to pass the most judgment on you is yourself. And so I believe you are confronted with the opportunity to undo some of the shame you may have twisted into yourself. And here's the thing. We, almost all of us, build layers of shame into our self-understanding. And while there is healthy shame which helps us act within our conscience, there can also be so many other layers we bind ourselves with. An example coming to mind is that of a small child crying for attention when they need something. If the parent or caregiver has some reason why they can't meet that need in the moment, the child may internalize the idea that they are unworthy of the attention that they crave, and so a layer of self-shame is built into their body. And there are so very many complex scenarios in our upbringing. There are times for all of us when people simply cannot give us what we need, and so many of us carry that around as shame for having needed it. Group 2, in this scenario, I think you may be being invited to shed some of this self-judgment. And I want to say, you might be holding yourself to an almost impossible standard. I feel like for some of you, you aren't recognizing your gifts or the fact that what you've worked on is good. And it may not all be completely polished, but firstly, there's room to grow, and secondly, some of it already is excellent. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's skills you've developed or studies, or if it's some other kind of personal work or situation into which you have invested yourself. Maybe you feel like something has been lost or will be lost, but I want you to understand that the bones of it are still there. The foundation is still there. and the structure or understanding upon which you can build is still there. And there's something here too about letting yourself be seen, letting yourself be vulnerable, because you are more worthy and more lovable than you give yourself credit for. And I also want you to know that what you have achieved already is no small feat. The choices we make, the things we choose to cultivate in our lives take effort and dedication. And I'm seeing that there are places you haven't given up. You've kept going, kept building, and what you have made from that effort has meaning and value, and it's okay to give that some recognition. Because another message I'm getting for some of you is that you're passing judgment on yourself for what you've chosen to focus on. Maybe you're questioning the life that you've built, or the things you've cultivated, and you're wondering if you should have prioritized completely different values. Maybe you're feeling like what you are focused on doesn't truly yield the sense of meaning or reward that you hoped that it would, and you're in a process of reevaluation. If that's true, I think there's a gentle encouragement here to give yourself some grace. And if you want to make a change and refocus, then you know what? That's okay. You will not be the first person to have done so, and you won't be the last either. And we don't know what we know until we know it. Maybe if you hadn't taken the other path, you would always be questioning. And maybe if you're starting over right now and you're feeling like you don't have as much as you could have, you still have deeper appreciation for what you value now, and your path forward will carry so much less confusion because you know it's truly in line with your heart and what you choose to prioritize. Maybe some of you thought you would lead a solitary life where you would only chase your own desires, but you've realized that you want to share your time with others. And on the other hand, maybe some of you are leaving behind the constrictions of other points of view and following what is most true to your heart on your own journey. And I want to say too, that what's in your heart is there for a reason. Maybe in the process of whatever you're frightened of, you're going to have to stand up and show just who you are to the world. Maybe you're going to have to be vulnerable. But I'm seeing that if it is safe for you to speak your truth, then understand that your truth is there for a reason. And maybe there is a level of liberation on the other side of bringing this into the world that is more than you currently have access to. But you know, for some of you, there might also be a way to speak or show your truth without directly putting yourself in the way of others' opinions. Maybe you can first reveal what it is in your heart to yourself before thinking about including anyone else. Or maybe there is some anonymous way to express yourself or create what has meaning for you without immediately facing any public recognition. I'm getting for some of you too that there may be a more gentle path available than you realize. For some, you may be able to follow a thread of synchronicities or messages from Spirit that will lead you forward in a way you could not have anticipated. And if that message is resonating for you, then trust, because what you need will be revealed in the right moments. And I got a little side message there that Spirit knows when the right moments are. So you might have times you're crying out for help and feeling like you're not getting an answer, but Spirit knows there's something more to process, and once you're ready, you will receive what you need. So for some of you, there is a deepening of your faith and connection to Spirit manifesting as part of this journey. And the more you know how to listen for the guidance of Spirit, the more in line with your path you'll be. And what I am seeing is that after you go through this process of change, whatever it is, and you have to stand up and be revealed, if only to yourself, and after you learn to see yourself with love and understanding, even for the ways you may have made mistakes or done things you regret, and after you have followed the path that only your spirit can lay out for you, then you will find yourself building anew. Then you will find yourself cultivating something that does yield all the rewards and abundance that you hoped for, and you will also be in relation to spirit, such that you know that what you're cultivating is aligned with the divine, because you have walked the path of trusting the moments of synchronicity. And so instead of condemning yourself, you become gentle with yourself, and you find yourself in flow with a wider and more healthily interrelated world, where you honor all that is established and growing outside of you, and you know that you are cultivating something meaningful as well. There is a transition from a place of painful disconnection to a place of self-accepting interconnection, and what felt desolate becomes fertile and life-giving. And with that, Group 2, I'm going to say goodbye for today and wish you all the very best. Hello, Group 3. So Group 3, I'm getting that the part of you which could use a little love is the way that you're currently perceiving something. Sometimes when we observe things in a coldly intellectual way, we deny ourselves the fully rounded understanding of the events that a compassionate heart would add to the picture. And truly, I feel that there's more in play here, because this is more than just seeing things purely in the mental realm. The mental realm might stay neutral, but this is also seeing things through the eyes of disappointment, and that changes the energy from neutral to condemning. And what can emerge from the experience of feeling let down is a desire to somehow get back at someone, or make them feel a similar level of pain or disappointment that we have felt. And I wonder if that kind of vengeful energy is somehow in play in this situation, that there is the possibility that the clarity of mind could be influenced by the desire to teach someone a lesson. But the thing is, I don't believe this is fully decided yet, because there's another possibility, and that is that a bridge could be built. Now, I want to say something about self-reflection here, because maybe you're in a situation where you're upset because you feel like someone's attacking you, or going to attack you. Or maybe you feel like someone's really let you down in a way that feels almost purposeful. But here is the reflection piece that I want you to consider. Maybe you haven't forgiven yourself for the way that you wanted to hurt someone else in the past. All of our choices live in our memories, in our bodies, and sometimes the things we fear are the very things we feel we have done or would do to others. But you know what else, Group 3? All of us act out. None of us has lived perfectly, and I'm wondering if maybe this situation will also help you build a bridge of compassion with your own history and your own questions about yourself. I feel that your current situation contains within it the possibility of releasing your past with love, the possibility of cleansing and healing. Maybe you're in a situation with someone right now that feels really uncomfortable and you're not sure how it's going to play out. Maybe you're sad and hurt, and facing the question of whether more hurt is going to be created. So I want to speak a gentle message of encouragement to you to go back into your relationship to self first, and give yourself forgiveness anywhere you're still holding tension or questions about the actions of your past self. And you know what? It may work the other way around for some of you as well, meaning that you may find that offering another person an olive branch or building a bridge of understanding with them may also heal a hurt or fractured part of you. Sometimes, within the compounding layers of hurt and disappointment, we can open our eyes with some gentleness and witness the fragility of our souls trying to navigate a world full of beings with different needs and different histories and pains. So even though this situation hurts right now, you can still make whatever choice you know you will look back on and feel that your heart was in integrity. Group 3, I think that you are quite tapped into the divine, otherwise this message wouldn't be coming out in the way that it is, because it's asking you to remember that we are all part of this existence. It's asking you to remember how beautiful your understanding of things can be, and it's reminding you that what you feed into yourself, you become. And so if you feed loving and compassionate choices into your well of experiences, then within yourself you will know where you stand and what you represent. Because I believe that you have a wealth of beauty and magic to you, Group 3. I believe you have clear insight and a clear voice, and that your heart and mind working together can create something new, something you have not yet experienced in its entirety, but contained within it is a release and the ability to build a foundation of mutual respect and care. You have more wisdom than you have yet experienced, but with this energy you will. With this energy you will uncover an experience of clear sight, coupled with a compassionate heart, and the wisdom to hold yourself and the world with so much tenderness, and with grace and forgiveness. I see you thinking and expressing yourself so clearly, with so much understanding, and what feels clouded right now will reveal new depths of self-awareness and new levels of kindness shown towards yourself. I can't predict what the outcome of your situation will be, but I do know that you have the opportunity to explore what feels most in integrity with yourself. And I'm not sure what's in play here, but it appears as a challenge between 2 or even 3 different energies in some cases. But one thing that I feel is revealed by the situation are the places where the parties involved hold triggers or trauma. And what may be discovered through gentle awareness is how those triggers affect you. Do they cause you to project certain things onto other people? What understanding is being unraveled through meeting this painful situation? And once you've processed that, what would you like to create in place of these triggers in the future? Is there a possibility of creating a connection where all parties feel cared for? Or will it perhaps be that you deepen your ability to care for yourself in your world? Something that I want to make clear is that the energy of healing is present in this reading. The possibility of transmutation and release is present, and you may find that the healing potential lives in exactly the same place as the hurt potential. By that I mean, say you are looking at this with searing insight, and maybe even correctly assessing the flaws or the faults of those with whom you are interacting. That assessment comes of a very sharp and agile mind, but it is also through your insight and your broad capacity to look at things clearly that you may find understanding of the situation, and at least within yourself, find a resolution that feels energetically clean and without mental, emotional, or energetic residue that will cause you more pain later on. Some of you, I think, work with angels or with loving spirit guides, and if you do, you are encouraged to ask them to help you see yourself in this situation with love. And they will do it. They will find a way to infuse your perception with love, whatever that looks like for you. And by this process, you may come to know your magic in this world better and perceive your own self with love and reverence and respect. So group 3, if you are hearing my words and some part of you is thinking, well, I'm hurt by this situation, but Bridgeswell Tarot told me to just forgive, then I would say that's not quite it. But group 3, pause and see what truly feels in integrity for you. Pause and consider what you will thank yourself for doing in the future. And invite the divine to help you, because divine love wants nothing more than to be with you, holding your heart, holding you while you hurt. It may be possible, group 3, that the outcome of your situation will be far more beautiful than you can currently see. And with that, my dears, I'm going to say goodbye and wish you all the very best.